As always, it is so great to have you here, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy out there. Anyways, today we're making a very simple pasta dish, but promises to be one of the best pasta dishes ever. We're talking a one-pot poor man's pasta. Now, this is a very popular dish throughout the Mediterranean and a recipe that dates back hundreds of years where peasants would make pasta dishes just like this one that fill your body with so much nutrients and are made with the most affordable ingredients, folks. Not only is this pasta dish super delicious, but it's very easy to make and it's all done in just 30 minutes. All right, let's just dive right into this recipe. I'm gonna grab a large fry pan. You can also use a stock pot here if you prefer. Heat it with a medium heat. And add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is about 40 milliliters. Now, the vegetables I'm going to use in this pasta dish are the typical ones that are used here in the Mediterranean, but you know, this is a poor man's pasta dish, so you can use whatever vegetables you like or whatever you have on hand. The only thing, I do recommend that you roughly chop the vegetables instead of finely chopping them, as at the end it gives this pasta dish the most incredible texture. After heating the olive oil for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in 1 medium-sized onion that I roughly chopped, 4 cloves of garlic that I thinly sliced, and 1 green bell pepper and 1 red bell pepper that I roughly chopped. And as you know, I like to mix the vegetables around continuously, that way they don't brown and they evenly saute. After about 4 minutes and the vegetables are lightly sauteed, you don't want to brown them, I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of tomato sauce, which is 225 grams. The tomato sauce I'm using, I made by finely grating tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here or even passata. We'll also add in 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, which is about 1 gram. And we'll season everything with sea salt and a generous portion of freshly cracked black pepper. Now, I'm not going to add any sugar to cut the acid from the tomatoes, as I'm using fresh tomatoes and they have a sweet flavor to them. However, if you're using canned tomato sauce, add a little pinch of sugar in there. And we'll give this a mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. Then we're going to turn up the heat from a medium heat to a high heat. And we'll simmer the tomato sauce just for a couple minutes, that way it can thicken up and all the flavors can develop. After simmering the tomato sauce for about 3 minutes, and as you can see it's really thickened up, I'm going to add in 2.5 cups of vegetable broth, which is about 600 milliliters. The one that I'm using is homemade. You'll find a link on how to make it in the iCard above and description box below. Of course, you can also use chicken broth here or even water. However you use water, make sure to season accordingly. And we'll give this a quick mix and bring that broth to a boil. Once the broth comes to a boil, it's time to add in the pasta. I'm going to be using penne pasta here, but you can use whatever type of pasta noodles you like. The most important thing, make sure to check the package instructions, that way you perfectly cook your pasta al dente. I'm going to measure out 2¼ cups, which is 8 ounces or 225 grams. And add the pasta into the pan. And we'll give this a mix, that way the pasta is evenly distributed throughout the pan and you don't have to mix this continuously, but do get in there about every 2 minutes or so, that way the pasta doesn't stick together and it all evenly cooks. About 8 minutes after adding the pasta into the pan, and you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the pasta, but there's still some broth left, I'm going to place a lid on the pan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer our pasta with the lid on for another 3 minutes. This is enough time for all that broth to be absorbed by the pasta and for the penne pasta to be perfectly cooked al dente. So once again, important to check the package instructions in the pasta that you're using. The one that I'm using is exactly 11 minutes. After a total cooking time of 11 minutes on the pasta, this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the lid from the pan and the pan from the heat. Then I'm going to add in a handful of black pitted olives over the pasta, making sure they're evenly spread out. Finally grate in a kiss of manchego cheese. The one that I'm using has been aged for 6 months, so it's got a beautiful flavor to it, but it easily melts. However, to make this recipe, you can use whatever cheese you like. and we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our one pot poor man's pasta dish is done. Such a beautiful presentation, easy to make, but the best part, it came together in just 30 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Now this is what some seriously good food looks like. I cannot wait to try this. Try to grab a little bit of everything, including a black olive. Here we go. I'm telling you. It is absolutely delicious. So many beautiful Mediterranean flavors in there. But the beauty of this dish is that it's a one-pan pasta, meaning the starch in the pasta stays in there, giving it the most incredible texture and flavor. You know, folks, sometimes when you're making food, you don't have to use the most expensive ingredients to create a beautiful dish, and this one right here proves it. Give it a try at home, and I promise it's gonna completely blow you away. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Michael and Kelly Thompson, Dr. Michael Barbitz, and Terry K. Clean. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.